Well, welcome back to Aethlon Medical's a channel addressing unmet needs in global health. We recently discussed some key milestones achieved that are continuing to expand, including some earnings where we're going to get some highlights from James, the CEO, and Stephen, the Chief Medical Officer, joining. First and foremost, welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. And we just spoke a few days ago, and I appreciate you having us back on this channel again. It's been a busy few days. And we do have some late-breaking news that actually came down a few hours after we spoke earlier this week. But let me start with our earnings call, which we held yesterday, Wednesday. We covered the news on the oncology trial that Steve will address shortly. And then we continued our program of expense reductions to clear the decks for our cancer trial. And we know some expenses will increase associated with that trial. But we did close the June quarter with $6.9 million in cash, no debt. We reduced our expenses June quarter over June quarter by $200,000. But the June 24 quarter included a $500,000 accrual for some employees that we let go. So if you factor in that $500,000 accrual, actually our expenses declined by $700,000. So we're very pleased with that reduction. When the board asked me to become the CEO, in addition to my former role as Chief Financial Officer, my two commitments to them was to get the company moving on oncology and to reduce our expenses. And I'm pleased that this quarter showed both. So I don't want to steal Steve's thunder on the late-breaking news on the oncology trial. So let me turn the computer and turn the presentation over to Steve.
Thanks, Jim. So Kyle, when we last talked, we were very excited because we had our first patient who had signed consent, had successfully passed through all the screening activities, and was in the run-in period of the study. And that was from Royal Adelaide Hospital under Professor Michael Brown and his research staff. That was followed in a couple days' time with news that we had a second patient that had consented. It had also successfully completed the screening labs and studies needed to go forward in the study, and that patient now was also in the run-in period. So we have two. There's a couple things that I'm quite heartened by, which is these patients are faced with a new diagnosis of cancer, a new therapy with an anti-PD-1, and then they're having this study brought to them. And I'm heartened by the fact that it's resonating with them and that they're consenting to be in this despite having to deal with everything else they have to do with. So I think hopefully the science is resonating with the patients, that this is something interesting to them that they think could be of benefit. It also tells me that Royal Adelaide has a great screening mechanism, meaning way to identify people and are good at the consent process, which we anticipated. Also note, we do have another hospital that's up and running in Pindara, private hospital, which is in the Gold Coast, and we'll see their screening activity sometime today. So very encouraged by what we're seeing to date and the patients' responses when they're approached for the study.
Yeah, definitely appreciate all the insights here, gentlemen. As we pass it off to the viewers, as always, let us know what you think. Consider subscribing because news and catalysts like this come down the wire. We're going to bring it to you here. But on that, we look forward to catching you in the next one.